This is Keith Williams. Welcome to 5-Watt World. We're interested in helping you get the most music from the least gear. I've had a number of questions in the comments asking about the gear that I use during the videos. Thinking about how best to do that, I keep coming back to the excellent questionnaire developed by Mick and Dan on That Pedal Show. So with a hearty thank you to the boys of TPS, like they used to say on Inside the Actor's Studio.
We begin as always with the questionnaire that was asked by Bernard Pivot for so many years in France, so brilliantly.
And so, using the excellent questionnaire developed on That Pedal Show. This is a 2011 FYD Amps Deluxe. It's modeled on the second channel of a Deluxe Reverb, without the tremolo circuit, but with the addition of a middle tone control. It's housed in a Princeton Reverb-sized chassis and a slightly taller cabinet to give the 12-inch speaker a little bit more room to breathe. The release of Eric Johnson's Bloom in 2010 renewed my interest in his playing. In particular, I've always loved EJ's stereo clean sound, so this amp was me chasing that. I went to Dan Lurie at FYD Amps to design an amp that would give me the glorious cleans of Johnson's pair of Fender twin reverbs in a more modest form factor and at more modest volumes. This amp is the result of Dan's meeting that design request. We built a pair of them to get the stereo sound we were looking for. Interestingly, a couple of years later, Johnson toured supporting his duet record with Mike Stern. He left his 100-watt Marshalls and his twins at home. He took out instead a pair of Silverface Deluxes and an 18-watt Marshall. Coincidence? Yeah, probably. Initially, we were looking for the maximum amount of headroom we could get in this size amp. So we spec'd an output transformer that would allow for the use of either 6L6 or 6V6 power tubes. With the 6L6s, it'll run at about 30 to 35 watts. After experimenting with the 6L6s, we realized we could get all we needed from 6V6 power tubes at the traditional 22 watts for a Deluxe. But it could always go back to the higher wattage if somebody needed it to, with the 6L6s and rebiasing the amp. This is a single channel amp with volume, treble, middle, bass, and reverb. It also has a tweed control switch. Tweed mode bypasses the tone stack, and the knob gives you a single tone control in that mode. When in blackface mode, the tweed knob acts as an adjustable bright switch. This amp's built like a tank. It's built on a custom-designed and hand-constructed eyelet board like amps were from the 1960s. The tone stack capacitors are 50s New Old Stock Sprague Black Beauties, which are the same makeup as the fabled caps found in the 1959 Les Pauls. Carbon composition resistors were used throughout as well, basically simulating the build of a blackface Fender amp, but as a new build with modern reliability. The transformers in this one are designed by and sourced from David Allen at Allen Amps. But Dan has also built them with Mercury Magnetics iron. Housed in a solid pine cabinet and sporting a Jensen Neo Alnico voice speaker, this version weighs just 30 pounds. According to Fender, a new Deluxe Reverb reissue weighs 42 pounds. The cabinet is 2 inches taller than a Princeton to give the 12-inch speaker more air to work with in the cabinet. The middle tone knob is a big upgrade and is a frequently requested custom mod to Princeton and Deluxe amps. At higher volumes, it allows you to dial back some bass to counteract flubbiness, while letting it control all the all-important mids to keep the amp sounding full. I can't overemphasize how great it is to have more control over the mid-range. Mid-range is where guitars live. Since we built these, Dan has built quite a few deluxes and has configured them with a lot of different features, including adding a dwell control for the reverb, using the Tweed as a lead boost on a foot switch, and most commonly adding a master volume control to tame the fact that without the tremolo circuit, more juice is making it to the power tubes. We were all raised with the sound of Fender clean or edge of clean tones ringing out from the radio, and this amp does that all day long. It was built for cleans, so it has the headroom that makes it an excellent pedal platform amp as well. We also realized early on in the project that it was going to be the ultimate gigging amp at this size and weight. I've heard Tom Bollinger from Premier Guitar say in a rig rundown that there aren't many gigs these days where a deluxe can't cut it. And that's been my experience as well. It's lightweight, gives you glorious clean headroom, and takes pedals for all the gain you might ever want. Dan's been known to bust on me about turning everything up to 12 and leaving it there, reminding me that the tone controls do things. I'm certainly guilty of that and then dialing the guitar and altering my picking attack to get the tones I'm looking for. And despite that, as I said, I do have a tendency to dial the tone and volume as needed for variety, and Dan probably would be proud of me. I'll also tweak the Tweed knob depending on the guitar I'm playing, as it functions as a subtle control over overall brightness. I had this built at the time when I was playing in an Americana sort of cover band, so it was being used to play lots of edge of breakup tones, and it did that amazingly well. But I've also used it for lots of jazz and blues jams over the years as well. Flipping the Tweed switch on for some of those tunes was like having two amps in one box. And of course, I've used it paired with its sister amp in stereo with the TC Stereo Chorus to go searching for my inner Eric Johnson clean tones. I might like to have a dwell knob added on the back for the reverb, but Dan customized that circuit for me to the amount that I liked when he built it. And for me, dwell tends to be one of those finding your settings and forget it sorts of things. I've also thought about having Dan add a master volume control for playing around at home. But those are the only things I can think of change. In every other way, the amp has met all my expectations, and I understand it's been one of FYD's best-selling designs to date. If you like the video, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that too. Until next time, thanks for being part of the 5 Watt world.